Hello and welcome everyone to today's coding challenge. Today we are discussing question from bi-weekly on test 158. This is question number 1. Maximize y sum by picking a triplet of distinct x values from. Basically we have given two integer arrays x and y, each of length n, and that is of same length. You must choose three distinct indices I, j and k such that no two values are equals to each other. That means we have to find three distinct values from x, and these three distinct values are find in order to maximize the sum of yi plus yj plus yk, and we have to return that maximum possible sum that can be obtained by choosing such a triplet of indices, and if no such triplet exists, return -1. So let us first break down this problem. In For this condition, if there is no such triplet exist, basically we have to find out three distinct element from x, and let us look at example number 2. If we have distinct values less than 3 in x, then it is not possible to choose any of the three indices such that we have to maximize the y. So in this case we have to return -1. So basically to return -1 we just have to find out that whether the x contains three distinct values or not. Let us suppose x contains three or more different values. Then what we have to do now? Let us look for this x. X contains 1, 2, 1, 3 and 2. So if we choose this 1, this 2 and this 3, what will be the sum possible for the alternate numbers for the consecutive numbers in y array? For this one, this 5, this 2 mates this 3, so 5 plus 3 is 8, and this 3 basically correspond to this 6, so 8 and 6 is made our sum as 14. Let us suppose we choose these three different indices 2, 1 and 3. So this will make our maximum possible sum as 3, 4, 6, that means 13. And if we choose these three indices, then this will make our maximum sum possible as 6, 4 and 2, that means 12. So the most optimal solution is basically obtained from choosing these indices as this 1, this 2 and this 3. So what could be the basic intuition behind this problem to solve this? First we have to find out that whether the x contains three distinct values or not. If it does not contain, then we have to return -1. If it will contain, then what we have to do? Let us visualize this first. So let us copy this example number 1. This is our example number 1 here. So basically we have to maintain some data structure correspond to the different distinct values possible. For 1 we have two possible values as this 5 and this 4. So let us put or write this 4 and 5 against the 1. This could be any data structure possible, whether this will be a vector or whether this could be a priority queue or a unordered set or something else. Now cancel out these ones. For 2 the possible values are this 3 and this 2, so put that 2 values against this 2. For this 3 the only possible value is this 6. Now it may be possible that for some number there are more than one element or two elements or three and more than three as well. So this is basically not a pair. This is basically a data structure that can contain multiple similar values as well. So the basic intuition to solve this is actually finding the three distinct in X. If we do not find any three distinct elements in X, we have to return -1. And in case we find out three distinct element, what could be the best optimal element to choose for each element such that the maximum y sum can obtain. For this one if we choose 4, and for this 2 if we choose this 2, and for this 3 the only possible is 6, then the maximum possible sum is basically 12. Let us this is fixed. Let us also fix this 4 and choose this 3. The maximum possible sum is now 13. This time fix this 3 and move this 5. Now this 5, 3 and 6 basically made that sum as 14. Now fix this 5 and move this 3, and now this 5, 2 and 6 made the sum as 13. So the most optimal or the maximum sum is only possible when we choose the maximum value for each element. That means for this one the maximum value amongst all the elements is 5, the maximum value for this 2 is 3, and the maximum value for this 3 is 6. So let us visualize this. Let us visualize that there is a unordered map, and we start iterating over this X, and we start putting elements of X as key in that map against a priority queue or some multiset, like suppose these are the multisets and these spaces are for keys. And if we start our loop from this, and this will check that whether one is exist as a key in this unordered map or not. No, this does not exist, so this unordered map make a key 1 and push the corresponding value for 1, that is 5, inside a multiset. And basically the multiset is a set that allows duplicate elements, and it stores elements in a sorted order as well. That is basically it is a sorted set that allows multiple elements as well. So as there is only single element as of now, so this 5 is basically at the front. Now our eye will move to the next iteration, this 2, and now we have to check that whether this map contains 2 as a key or not. No, this will not contain, so this will create a new key named as 2, and against this 2 the a multiset is created, and we have to push the corresponding value against this 2 in y is 3 inside this multiset. So push this 3 again, this one comes, and for this one the corresponding value is 4, so this 4 is pushed inside this multiset. But as we all know that this multiset stores elements in a sorted form, so this 4 will come before that 5. Now comes 3. For 3 the only value is 6, so this will create a new key named as 3 and push 6 inside this multiset. Again 2 comes, and this time the value for this 2 is 2, so 2 comes before this 3. Now this is basically a map that contains integer for multisets. That means multiset for integer value. My bad. Now after putting all these values, we just have to check that whether this unordered map has a size less than equals to less than 3 or not. If it has a size less than 3, that means this x does not have 3 distinct values, and that's why this map has elements less than 3. So in that case we have to simply return -1. And if it has keys greater than and equals to 3, then what could be the intuition after that? Now first let us initialize some vector, a empty vector, and try to put the all maximum values for each key inside that vector. uh, uh, that means it is not required to put all these values inside that vector, because this 4 will not contribute in our answer, this 2 will also not contribute in our answer. The values that correspond contributes in our answer are basically the AND values for each multiset. And the reason behind this to create a empty vector is this. Let us suppose it has 4 as a element, and correspond to 4 there is value 7 in y, so this will create a key as 4, and to this 4 the value 7 is pushed inside this multiset. And now this 4 will contribute more than these 3 values, so this 4 will also considered as our answer, and this time this 2 is omitted from our answer. That's why we have to create a empty vector. So as of now let us look only example number 1. So push that 5 inside our vector. Now push this 3, now push 6, sort them in reverse order, and finally return the first three elements sum, and that will be the maximum possible sum for any input. And let us suppose it has 4 as well as a element, so for this 7 is also pushed inside the vector, and 7 comes first, then 6, and this time our answer is not 653 but our answer is basically 765. That's why we have to create a vector that can stores all the maximum values possible in each and every multiset of this unordered map. Now let us code this and check if it is correct or not. Let us first take the size of array x and y. Now create a unordered map that has key correspond to is integer, and the values are multiset. Now iterate over x and y. Now for every x of I, insert the y of I into this multiset, and this multiset basically take care of the order itself because it stores elements in sorted order. Now check if that map size is less than 3. If the map size is less than 3, that means there are no 3 distinct values possible in x. In that case we have to return -1. And if it has elements greater than and equals to 3, then what we have to do? Iterate over the map key and multiset. For every multiset, what we have to find or what we have to do with every multiset, we only need the last element, and we know that the last element for every multiset is the greatest element that can contribute in our answer. So just need that last element, and for that last element we have a reverse iterator. This reverse iterator basically corresponds to the last element of every multiset. Now put that inside our answer, sort our answer, in reverse order, and finally return the sum of first 3 elements. Now it looks fine. Let us first run this and check if it is running fine or not. It is running fine, and now let us submit this. It is submitted and it does pass all the 7 to 9 test cases as well. So this is basic question we can do with further optimization as well. We further optimize this as well because now we Note that for every element we only have to find out the largest possible value for every element. That means for this one we only need the largest possible value. That means this 5. For this 2 we only need this largest possible value, and for this 3 the only largest possible corresponding value in y is 6. So we can further optimize this as well. So let us look at this Java code as well. First we created a hash map of integer. This time we do not need any multiset or priority queue, because for every integer we just have to store the maximum possible corresponding value in y. If this map, this x of I is all is previously present in this map, that means it has some value, previous value possible, then we have to update our key x of I to the maximum possible value of y of I and the previous value of that. And if it is not, simply put that x of I and y of I. Now this line is basically updated our value of y of I in that map, and if that map size is less than 3 we have to return -1, and if if the map has elements greater than and equals to 3, then we have to simply put all the values inside a answer array list and then sort it in the reverse order, and just finally return the sum of first 3 element, so that this could give us the maximum y sum possible. So thank you so much guys, and I hope you all understand this, and if you can think any of other optimized approach, please let us know us in comments, and thank you, and please do like and subscribe to this video. Thank you guys.